All right. Abba Dabba. So, today we're going to read The Art of Drowning by Billy Collins. He was the U.S. Poet Laureate. Check out my bookmark. Had this way back in the day, and I laminated it. And it's the Family Circus. And it says, it's got the kid coming in. The mom says, "At least you're color coordinated. Your shirt matches the grass stains on your pants." Pretty funny. The Art of Drowning. I wonder how it all got started. This business about seeing your life flash before your eyes while you drowned, as if panic or the act of submergence could startle time into such compression, crushing decades in the vice of your desperate final seconds. After falling off a steamship, or being swept away in a rush of floodwaters, wouldn't you hope for a more leisurely review, an invisible hand turning the pages of an album of photographs? You up on a pony or blowing out candles in a conic hat? How about a short animated film, a slide presentation? Your life expressed in an essay or in one model paragraph. Wouldn't any form be better than this sudden flash? Your whole existence going off in your face in an eyebrow singeing explosion of biography. Nothing like the 3 large volumes you envisioned. Survivors would have us believe in a brilliance here, some bolt of truth forking across the water, an ultimate light before all the lights go out, dawning on you with all its megalithic tonnage, tonnage. But if nothing does flash before your eyes as you go under, it will probably be a fish, a quick blur of curved silver darting away, having nothing to do with your life or your death. The tide will take you, or the lake will accept it all as you sink toward the weedy disarray of the bottom, leaving behind what you have already forgotten, the surface, now overrun with the high travel of clouds. Well, there you go. Canada. I'm writing this on a strip of white birch bark, excuse me, that I cut from a tree with a penknife. There is no other way to express adequately the immensity of the clouds that are passing over the farms and wooden lakes of Ontario, and the endless visibility that hands you the horizon on a platter. I am also writing this in a wooden canoe, a point of balance in the middle of Lake Kuchi, Kuching. resting the birch bark against my knees. I can feel the sun's hands on my bare back, but I am thinking of winter, snow piled up in all the provinces, and the solemnity of the long grain ships that pass the cold months moored at Owen Sound. Oh, Canada, as the anthem goes, scene of my boyhood summers, you are the pack of sweet caprils on the table. You are the dove soft train whistle in the night. You are the empty chair at the end of an empty dock. You are the shelves of books in a lakeside cottage. Gift from the Sea by Anne Morrow Lindbergh. A Child's Garden of Verses by Robert Louis Stevenson. Anne of Avonlea by L.M. Montgomery. So You're Going to Paris by Clary Langland. And Pearl Over the Airport, one of the Vicky Barr Flight Stewardess series by Helen Wills, whom some will remember as the author of the Cherry Ames Nurse stories. What has become of the languorous girls who would pass the long, limp summer evenings reading Cherry Ames, student nurse, Cherry Ames, senior nurse, Cherry Ames, chief nurse, and Cherry Ames, flight nurse? Where are they now? The ones who shared her adventures as a veteran's nurse, private duty nurse, visiting nurse, cruise nurse, night supervisor, mountaineer nurse, dude ranch nurse. There is a little she has not done. Rest home nurse, department store nurse, boarding school nurse, and country doctor's nurse. Oh, Canada, I have not forgotten you. And as I kneel in my canoe, beholding this vision of a bookcase, I pray that I remain in your vast polar North American memory. You are the paddle, the snowshoe, the cabin in the pines. You are Jindibaruf with his martyr's necklace of hatchet heads. You are the moose in the clearing and the moose head on the wall. You are the rapids, the propeller, the kerosene lamp. You are the dust that coats the roadside berries. But not only that, you are the two boys with pails walking along that road. And one of them, the taller one minus the straw hat, is me. Hello, Aza T. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. This is our poetry series. A little late going, but I had to do what I had to do. So let's see. We had a good last week. We had a good live, and we had a collab with that was a Banana Breaks, one of my Banana Breaks, and it was a banana sandwich collab with Kicking It Country Vlogs. They're a great channel. Check out that video, and in the comments and also the description is a link to their channel. Go check them out. Go check that video out. It's a good video. Also check out some of my shorts. A bunch of them are doing good. I'm having fun doing those, so please go check those out. And please keep tuning in Tuesday mornings, normally at 8 o'clock, but had a visitor at the house, and then I had to change my headlight on my truck because it's burned out. So it's a little late getting started, but here we are. Read a couple more poems. Also the beginning, didn't say much, but we had a little collectible art that I put up. I've had this a long time, but I like this. Bring a couple of these to each one of our readings. This is, of course, the Karate Kid in the 48 Ford Super Deluxe. Wouldn't that be something to have that? But, yeah. And then I made a short of this. We bought it at the World Market. Abba Zaba. Soft and chewy. And it's an Annabelle's candy. It's chewy taffy, peanut butter center. It is not chocolate. Somebody asked me in the, well, I think it was Riza, my member of the Listen Well channel. Abba Zaba is not chocolate, but it is a candy bar. It's taffy with a peanut butter center. And I put Captain Beefheart singing Abba Zaba. Check that short out for sure. All right, well, we'll continue reading. But remember, tune in on Tuesdays. Also, just feel like a lot of good things are going on with the channel. Just keep supporting. We hit a couple of milestones. Might do another live sometime in the week. But we hit 60,000 views, and we also hit 2,500 subscribers. So that was about 30 or 40 subscribers on Saturday night. That appreciate you. So yeah, tell your friends, share us out. But let's read a few more poems. Again, we're reading from Billy Collins' book, The Art of Drowning. We read the poem that the title comes from. He was the U.S. Poet Laureate. This was published in when was it published? 95. This was published in 1995. Not sure when he was the Poet Laureate. But anyway, we just read Canada. And we read The Art of Drowning. So we've just read 2 poems. And we will continue on. We're going to read the poem is called Thesaurus. It could be the name of a prehistoric beast that roamed the Paleozoic earth, rising up on its hind legs to show off its large vocabulary, or some lover in a myth who is metamorphosed into a book. It means treasury, but it is just a place where words congregate with their relatives. A big park where hundreds of family reunions are always being held. House, home, abode, dwelling, lodgings, and digs, all sharing the same picnic basket and thermoses. Hairy, hirsute, woolly, furry, fleecy, and shaggy, all running a sack race or throwing horseshoes. Inert, static, motionless, fixed, and immobile, standing and kneeling in rows for a group photograph. Here, father is next to sire and brother close to siblings, separated only by fine shades of meaning. And every group has its odd cousin, the one who traveled the farthest to be here. Astro as Asterio Nagus Poly Polydipsia, or some 11 syllable unpronounceable substitute for the word tool. Even their own relatives have to squint at their name tags. I can see my own copy up on a high shelf. I rarely open it because I know there is no such thing as a synonym, and because I get nervous around people who always assemble with their own kind, forming clubs and nailing signs to closed front doors, while others huddle alone in the dark streets. I would rather see words out on their own, away from their families and the warehouse of roget wandering, the world where they sometimes fall in love with a completely different word. Surely you have seen pairs of them standing forever next to each other on the same line inside a poem, a small chapel where weddings like these between perfect strangers can take place. A pretty good one. I liked that one. Well, booyah. 15th birthday eve. The figure alone is enough to keep me wide awake. The 5, with its little station master's belly and cap with the flat visor, followed by the 0, oval of looking glass, porthole on a ghost ship, an opening you stick your arm into and feel nothing. I want to daydream here in the dark, listening to the trees behind the house reciting their poems, bare anonymous beings, murmuring to themselves in lines that reach out like long branches in spring. I want my mind to be a sail, susceptible to any breeze that might be blowing across the lake of consciousness. But I keep picturing the number, round and daunting. I drop a $15 bill on a crowded street. I carry a 15-pound bag of wet sand on my shoulders. I see 50 yearlings leaping a fence in a field. Oh, it's the 50th birthday eve. Makes a little more sense. Let's start this again. It's called the 50th birthday eve. It said the 15th. The figure alone is enough to keep me wide awake. The 5 with its little station master's belly. That makes more sense. And cap with the flat visor, followed by the 0, oval of looking glass, porthole on a ghost ship. An opening you stick your arm into and feel nothing. I want to daydream here in the dark, listening to the trees behind the house reciting their poems. Bare, like bare naked. Bare anonymous beings murmuring to themselves in lines that reach out like long branches in spring. I want my mind to be a sail, susceptible to any breeze that might be blowing across the lake of consciousness. But I keep picturing the number round and daunting. I drop a $50 bill on a crowded street. I carry a 50-pound bag of wet sand on my shoulders. I see 50 yearlings leaping a fence in a field. I fan the 5 decades before me like a poker hand. I try contemplating the sufferings of others. Rossini, for example, considered by many to be the father of modern insomnia for his prologue sleeplessness during the composition of the William Tell Overture. But even a long meditation on the life of Brahms, widely recognized as the father of the modern lullaby, will not dispel the 5s and 0s, gnomes in the night, perched on the bedposts, one straddling a closet doorknob. By dawn, I have become a Catholic again, the oldest altar boy in the parish, complete with surplice and cassock, cruet, trumble, and candle. And this day, whose first light is gilding the windows, has become another one of the sorrowful mysteries following the agony in the garden of childhood and preceding the crucifixion. The letter X, removed from the word and nailed to a cross. The rest of the alphabet standing witness on the rocky hillside, marveling at all the lightning that is cutting silently across the dark sky. On turning 10, the whole idea of it makes me feel like I'm coming down with something worse than any stomach ache or the headaches I get from reading in bad light. A kind of measles of the spirit, a mumps of the psyche, a disfiguring chicken pox of the soul. You tell me it is too early to be looking back, but that is because you have forgotten the perfect simplicity of being one and the beautiful complexity introduced by 2. But I can lie on my bed and remember every digit. At 4, I was an Arabian wizard. I could make myself invisible by drinking a glass of milk a certain way. At 7, I was a soldier. At 9, a prince. But now I am mostly at the window watching the late afternoon light. Back then it never fell so solemnly against the side of my treehouse, and my bicycle never leaned against the garage as it does today. All the dark blue speed drained out of it. This is the beginning of sadness. I say to myself, self, as I walk through the universe in my sneakers, it is time to say goodbye to my imaginary friends. Time to turn the first big number. It seems only yesterday I used to believe there was nothing under my skin but light. If you could cut me, I would shine. But now, when I fall upon the sidewalks of life, I skin my knees. I bleed. All right. I say one more and I better get some rest. Shadow. The sun finally goes down, like the end of the Russian novel, and the blinding darkness over the continent makes me realize how tired I am of reading and writing, tired of watching all the dull, horse drawn sentences as they plow through fields of paper, tired of being dragged on a leash of words by an author I can never look up and see, tired of examining the exposed spines of books. I want to be far from the shores of language, a boat without passengers, lost at sea. No correspondence, no thesaurus, not even a name painted across the bow. Nothing but silence, the kind that falls whenever I walk outside with a notebook, and a passing cloud darkens my page. All right, and where did my... Yes, you might read from that again, much like that. Well, Pilgrim Brown. Thank you. Also, got some super chatters in today. 4,000. Pilgrim Brown. Appreciate it. Very much so. Alright, already. Alright. Feel like I need to read something more here. Design. Take that one. Design. I pour a coating of salt on the table and make a circle in it with my finger. This is the cycle of life, I say to no one. This is the wheel of fortune, the Arctic Circle. This is the ring of Kerry and the white rose of Tarlee. I say to the ghosts of my family, the dead fathers, the aunt who drowned, my unborn brothers and sisters, my unborn children. This is the sun with its glittering spokes. and the bitter moon. This is the absolute circle of geometry, I say to the crack in the wall, to the birds who cross the window. This is the wheel I just invented to roll through the rest of my life, I say, touching my finger to my tongue. Yeah, I think we need to read more of this. Some good titles on here that we're going to have to read. Sweet Talk, Dream, The Invention of the Saxophone, Philosophy. Read some of it to my, and so Eating a Pear, The End of the World. Let's read one more here. While eating a pear. After we have finished here, the world will continue its quiet turning, and the years will still transpire. But now without their numbers, and the days and months will pass without the names of Norse and Roman gods. Time will go by the way it did before history, pure and unnoticed, a mystery that arose between the sun and the moon. Before there was a word for dawn, or noon, or midnight. Before there were names for the earth's uncountable things. When fruit hung anonymously from scattered groves of trees. Light on one smooth green side, shadow on the other. Okie dokie. Remember, tune in next time and play some shorts, play some videos. Have a good week.